Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, welcome to my space. This is Light. My name is Augusta. Welcome to my space where we share God's word together. We grow together, we learn together, and we apply God's words in our life, and it shows. Today, I'll be sharing on a topic titled Overcoming Fear with Remembrance and Faith. That's our topic for today. But before we start, I would like you to kindly get your journal. I have mine here. So kindly get your journal and please open a page and write today's date and write something that happened in the past that you remembered God did for you. A testimony, a grand testimony, even maybe a grand or a big one, or it could be something little but very detailed of how God saved you from something, just something you remember that you can tell somebody over and over again. Either one or two testimonies. Please can you write it down in your journal and we'll get back to the video. I'm sure you're done writing the testimony. So we'll go back straight into the video. But before we start, I would like us to define the word fear. We hear this word fear a lot. Oh, I'm afraid. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm worried. What does fear mean? What does fear mean? So in the Cambridge Dictionary defines fear as fear is an unpleasant emotion or thoughts that you have when you are frightened or worried. So meaning that fear comes from fright when you're frightened and fear comes when you're worried. So these are the causes of fear. When you're afraid, it shows that you're worried. So one of the causes of fear constantly is worry. When you're worrying about something, oh, how can this thing happen? Oh, how would God do this thing for me? Oh, how would this happen? How would I get this job? Who is going to help me? Like you're trying to be the one to calculate this particular thing, then fear grips in. So fear is beyond an emotion, though it is an emotion, but if you look at it even in the Bible in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, it says God has not given us a spirit of fear. So fear is a spirit. Fear is beyond emotion. And that spirit of fear, because the devil wants us to be afraid first, because when you're afraid, it gives access to other spirits. When you're afraid, that's when you begin to have depression. You fall into depression. You are sad. You begin to have anxiety. You're anxious over little things. Your body's shaking. You begin to worry. That's what fear does. So when you're afraid, you give access to fear into your life. You give access to that spirit of fear. Then you give access to other spirits into your life, because you cannot be depressed, you cannot be sad if you first do not have fear. I want you to think of something, think of one thing. Think of one thing that you're currently afraid of. Yes, think of it right now. Are you afraid of your future? Oh, how would I'm currently in school. They say the economy is hard, things are not working out. Graduate, you not get a job. I'm currently serving, and then you have this fear of how will I do this? How would I accomplish my dreams or the things I plan to do? Oh, I don't have money for this particular thing. How would money come? Oh, I have children, but I am so scared of my children's future. Will they turn out to be good? What is that thing you're currently scared of? Just think of it. If I may ask, why are you actually afraid? Well, like if we're to think of it now, why are you afraid? It's just funny how we actually forget. We forget that God is a supreme being and He does a lot of miracles. He has done so many things that for us even in the past, but we forget. And as human, we have the tendency to forget. Even in Psalms 103, I think verse 2, it says, Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not his benefits. As human, we naturally forget. We forget things that God has done for us in the past. And when a new challenge comes, when something happens, or when something new happens, or a worry comes in immediately, we just forget that God did this in the past, and then this new thing that happened now, we begin to become afraid of how we're going to come out of it. One of the ways to overcome fear is constantly remembering the goodness of God. So when we forget, we become afraid. So fear and remembrance work hand in hand. So if you're afraid of something, if you are scared of something, if a worry comes, sorry, if a problem comes and then you begin to worry, replace it with remembrance. So remember the goodness of God in your life. Remember how God took you out of a particular situation you had in the past, how you needed help, how God showed up for you countless times, how God, there was something that you really trusted God for, or a healing, and then God came through men. God made a way for you that you did not even expect was going to happen. When you remember the faithfulness of God, it makes you to be grateful. It helps you to depend on Him and trust in Him and believe and have faith in Him that this particular thing that is currently happening to you is like Nothing will even happen because you're not afraid, you're not scared that if he did it in the past before, then now he will do it. It's just that's how it works. So overcoming fear, you have to remember the goodness of God. Do not forget his benefits. We're using an example, the children of Israel. So from Exodus down to Deuteronomy, when God took them out of Egypt and he said, oh, I'll show you a promised land, the land I've shown to you, I promised you that I'm going to give to you. And then when a new challenge comes or when something happens, he says, remember how I brought you out of Egypt. Remember this. Remember how I saved you from Egypt. And then he constantly reminds them of the things he has done for them in the past. That when something happens, when there's a war, when there's something that's happening to them right now, he keeps telling them, remember Egypt, how I brought you out. Remember. So one of the ways to overcome fear is what? Remembrance. So I'll use Deuteronomy 20. So I'll read verse 1 so we can learn from that. So it's titled Rules of Warfare. Verse 1 says, when you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots, and a people that outnumber you, do not be afraid of them. For the Lord your God is with you, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. The Lord your God is with you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. So here it says, when they are going to battle with their enemies, that they will see their enemies with horses, with chariots, and then these people will outnumber them, but they should not be afraid. It's like Nigeria going to go and fight one of the powerful countries in the world, let's say Russia, for example. And then God is saying, Nigeria, you're going to go and fight Russia. Russia, maybe our gun is that one they do crack and shoot, and then Russia has like S and W, maybe 940 or so, all these stop guns, and then we want to go and fight them. They have chariots, they have horses, and we do not have. We're going to go and fight with maybe sticks, fire, or something. We just have those. We don't really have like mighty weapons like them to go and fight. And God is saying, do not be afraid. I'm going to be with you. Remember what I did for you in the past. So remembrance helps us, it helps us to depend and trust in God more. It's like when a new problem comes and then you remember the thing God did for in the past, you say, you know what, who are that mountain before Zerubbabel? I cast you out because I remember what God did in the past. I remember how God saved me. I remember how God came through for me. I remember how God showed me favor where it felt like everything did not even work out, but he made a way for me. Oh, I remember. So that's how you can cast out the spirit of fear. We should not forget that remembrance boosts our faith. So for me, one of the things that boosts my faith when a new challenge comes or when a problem I'm facing a particular challenge, I remember how God brought me. So 2 years ago, when I relocated from Abuja to Lagos, I'll share a story of how it happened. I don't think I've shared this before. I'll share it so everyone can learn from this. I remember when I told my parents that I was going to relocate, because when I was in school in final level, my friends would ask me, oh, Augusta, where would you like to go and serve? And I would say, oh, I want to go and serve in Lagos. I was just jokingly saying it, but I didn't really like, I just said it, but I didn't like I really wanted to serve in Lagos. I was like, oh, I'm tired of Abuja. I want to move to a new city. Let me just, that kind of feeling of exploring, right? I didn't even know God had been putting that thing in my mind and put to serve there. I just felt it was just my own wish to serve in Lagos. When the time came for me to serve, I had to like sit down and think. I was like, do I really want to go and serve in Lagos? And then I was like, you know what, this is a new phase of my life and I need direction of what to do. So I had to inquire, I had to pray. I was praying that day. I told my parents that, you know what, service is here, and most times, of course, they will post it to a different state. I didn't want them to post me to a state I didn't know, but I wanted it to be according to the will of God for me. And my auntie was calling, oh, where do you want to serve? I'm going to put Abuja because she has a friend that worked in NYSC then. She was like, okay, I'm going to put your name. You're going to put one serve in Abuja. Oh, are you ready? I'm like, no, auntie, wait, I'm not going to serve in Abuja. Just hold on first. I'll tell you I'm going to serve. Just give me some days. Let me just pray about it. And then I prayed. And I was praying, I was asking God, where should I go? Where should I go? Where should I go? And it was very clear after the prayer, okay, you're going to the west. And where is the west? The west was specifically where I wanted to serve Lagos. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to go to serve in Lagos. I told her, and then I came to Lagos. So before I came to Lagos, when the posting letter came out for me to serve in Lagos, I was happy, but I was scared. I was scared because I was going to a city where I did not really have people, like Abuja, where I had all my friends, my family. Lagos is a new place. I think I had just few family members in Lagos, not so much. And then I was coming to a new city. Everybody has bad stories of Lagos. Nobody tells you the good parts. Oh, Lagos is rough. Lagos has Agberu. So many bad stories they talk about Lagos. There's so many traffic in Lagos. So many stories. And I was like, I was so scared. And then secondly, I did not have money to move for service. I had little money, but not so much to go and start up in the new states. And I was like, God, I don't know what to do. I started worrying. I was really worried that period. I was really worried because I didn't know where the money was going to come from. My parents then, they were like, "Ugh, there's no money for transport. How much is transport to Lagos? It's not like you're going to use flight, you use bus." And I was so worried to buy provisions. You know, the worst thing is that I forgot that if you are going to go and serve in NYSC, you would need to have a PPA, like a primary place of assignment. I don't even think of that. You need accommodation. I don't even know how I forgot that part of. I really forgot it. So I knew that God gave me the go ahead to go to Lagos, right? Because He was leading me there. I prayed, and then miraculously, some of my friends sent me money. God was made a way, provisions came. I was able to get money for transport and I bought some things for camp, and that was how I moved, and I prayed for my journey and everything, and I entered the bus. So I got to the car park and we saw a bus going to Lagos. And then they were like, "Oh, I think the price was like 19,500 or so. I can't remember. I think it was not up to 20K." And I was like, 19,000, that's cheap for Lagos, right? And then my brother put me in the bus, and then the bus was loading. So the bus was loading at the park. That was I think Jabi Park, yes. The bus was loading. I think we were there till like 9 o'clock. Lagos is very far from Abuja, and then we were still in the park by 9. We've not even left. The bus was not filled up yet. So the driver was like, you know what? Let's go to Gogalada. Maybe when we get to Gogalada, we'll get other passengers so we can begin our journey. I was sitting there close to the window. A man was by my side, and that lady was in front. We all gisting in the bus, so became like just started gisting and we just became like buddies in the bus. But these guys were older than me. I was like the youngest among them. The journey started because we got that we picked some persons and we started. So we were just going, and you know now your seatmate, you just be sitting down, be gisting. Oh, the man was like, "How are you? Fine. What's your name?" I told him, he told me his name, and then he was like, "Okay, where are you going?" So I'm going to Lagos for work service. Oh, that's great. This is your first time in Lagos? Yes, this is my first time. Oh wow, you will love Lagos. So do you have anywhere you want to go and serve? And I was like, am I supposed to have anywhere to serve? Should be the way else post me. He said, no, 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 that's not how it works. You will have to have a place you plan to go and serve so that maybe it can be worked out for you. If not, you can be posted to a very remote area. And I'm like, really? Is that how it's done? And he said, yes. I was like, okay. You know what? This is where I work. This is my ID card. He showed me his ID card. This is where I work, and I'm the one in charge of coppers. If you would like to work with us, this is my number. Take my number. You can call me when you get to camp. Let me know if this is where you would like to serve, and then I can work it out for you. I'll send you a letter to your. So I'll send you a letter. Then you can send your letter to. I think how they do it to process your PPA to come and serve in their office. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't really think about it so much. And we got to Ibadan. Then on our way going, I was supposed to camp in Shagamu. So I was camping in Shagamu, but to serve in Lagos. So when we got to Shagamu around 12. No, not Shagamu. We got to, I think, around the Ogun Road, one of the road that leads to Ogun State, around 12. And the driver now stopped. 12 midnight, yes. The driver now stopped. He now said, "Okay, oh, I hear the person they go Shagamu. Where she dey? Make she come down. We don't reach. Make she cross road. You cross like three very wide roads, highways. You will cross the road and then wait for a cab that will take you to Shagamu." And then I was like, around this time, it's very late though. And me, I was so scared. Like, what if they kidnap me or something? What if something happens to me? And the man was like, "You just come Lagos. You know, say you're supposed to plan yourself. You supposed to say so many things." And I was like, "But you can't leave me." Okay, I was like, "Okay, I beg, please help me cross the road so that with my bag, so that I can wait for a cab that will carry me on the road." He said, "I know if he help you, madam, I dey carry passenger go." Welcome to Lagos, right? Exactly. So the man that showed me his ID card, he was like, "You know what? Would you like to come and stay in my place if that's fine by you?" And I'm like, I don't know you, and Rayman, I don't know you. I would love to, but I declined. And then he said, "You know what? How about you speak to the lady in front, that lady that you guys were talking in the bus previously? So we can tell her if you can stay in her place." And I was like, I don't know. This was happening in the bus before we got to the bus stop. So when we got to that bus stop, and the driver was now shouting, "Oh, calm down, bring your things." I was like, "Sorry, I can't calm down. I can't, like, I'm scared. How do I cross the road?" The lady now came, and then she met me. When the driver was talking, she now said, "Copper, what's wrong? What's happening? I heard your voice outside. Are you coming? Is this where you're stopping?" I said, "Yes." She now said, "Okay, you know what? I live in Ikorodu. I know you don't know me, but you can spend the night in my house, and by tomorrow morning I will show you how to get a bus going to Shagamu. Then you can go to camp. And I did not even know I started crying. So the driver now took my things back into the bus, and I entered back into the bus, and then she entered, and we got to, I think, Bega. Then we took another car to our house, and I spent the night in the house. The following morning, I went back to camp, and after camp, when it was time for me to redeploy, sorry to be sent to my PPA, right? Yes. I remember that man I met in the bus, and I prayed about it. I was like, God, should I go? Should I? And I prayed, and I had a lead into like, okay, accept it. So I told him to send me the letter. He gave me the letter, and I sent it to my, I forgot what they call those people in camp. I just gave it to one of the officials, and I was posted to serve in that office. And interestingly, how the office came with an accommodation for a copper. So when I have issues, or when I have a new problem, this is the story I hold on to God. I hold on to, rather. I remember how God helped me, how God showed me favor in a land where I did not know anybody, a land where I knew nobody. I just did not even know how to start my life, and through God showed me favor to somebody I met in the bus, surprisingly. And I remember that man in the bus telling me that he missed his flight yesterday. He told me that he missed his flight yesterday because something happened, and then now he had to follow a public transport just so that he can meet up with work on Monday morning. So I remember I use that story every time when I'm having a new child. When there's this problem that comes, I remember that how God helped me, how God sent strangers, angels. I call those people angels in my life because I don't know them. I've never met them before, and God used them to be a blessing to me, and then establish me in this particular state, right? So that's what I used to boost my faith when things happen. I think if God could do that in the past for me, it's maybe 2 years ago, but this new challenge. My God is more than you. Maybe you're watching me now and you're saying, oh, Augusta, I don't have a story, I don't have a testimony of how God helped me in the past. I don't have a ground testimony. Look at the Bible. There are so many stories of people. There's Joseph, how he was a slave and God elevated him. Look at Abraham, look at Sarah, look at the children of Israel, look at Ruth. Just look at so many stories in the Bible, how God used people, how God helped them. Look at Esther. There are so many stories that you can hold on to, and that can boost your faith and then help you overcome worry, overcome anxiety, and overcome fear. And lastly, one of the ways we can overcome fear is by having positive people around us, eliminating those people with negativity. Because when you're going through a particular challenge or a problem, people around you in that during that time, during that season matters. Because if you're somebody who is trusting God, who is believing that God will do this for you, and then you don't even know how it's going to happen, and then you have somebody speaking negative things around you, telling you, this is your faith. Are you sure it will happen? How will it happen? They keep asking you questions, or keep questioning you and making you to doubt the wonders of God, making you just think of things that think of or think that is not possible. One thing I had to like rewind my mindset. I had to tell myself that, you know what, nothing is impossible with God. No matter what it is possible, I believe. So imagine me saying it is possible, and I have a friend that keeps saying, am I sure it will work? Am I sure? Am I sure it doesn't work? So in those time when you're worried, when you're afraid, you don't know how it's going to happen, please do well to eliminate those who are negative. Just try to like push them one side, and you know what, this season, this is what I'm trusting God for. I believe God. I'm trusting God for the particular thing. And then try to just monitor those around you, your circle, because whatever you hear, when you hear those things, it begins to trigger that fear, that worry in you. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. So we spoke about overcoming fear, and how can we overcome fear is by what? Remembering what God did for us in the past, and that is what helps boost our faith. Remembrance boosts our faith. We talk about overcoming fear with remembrance and faith. So when you remember the goodness of God in the past, it boosts your faith, because when a new challenge comes, a new problem comes, it's like God did this in the past before. This new particular problem, it wasn't new. God would do it. So remembrance helps us overcome fear and worry. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. I hope this video blessed you. And if it did bless you, please do well to share it to somebody you know who would really need this video at this time. And thank you for watching. Do well to subscribe if you're yet to. Do well to like, and don't forget to share. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.